We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Are you able to? Hope you are able to see the slides, right? In the last class, in the last class, we have been discussing about the new product development as a part of the product life cycle as such. And we said to recapitulate what we have been talking about, the various phases of product development from the initial stage of idea generation, idea screening, concept development, then coming to business analysis, product development, and test marketing, finally commercializing. So I think we completed this particular aspect of the product development. Today, we would also consider certain aspects of the marketing strategy as part of the product life cycle that we are talking about. Once we start commercializing our product, trying to launch, we would have probably come up with some marketing plan, which consists of the campaign that we have to take, advertisements that we have to prepare for, and the channels of communication and materials. Then, what should be our pricing strategy and so on. If time permits, we'll get into some of the pricing strategies as well. Then, I was talking to you that during those first 4 phases, how the product would fare and the length of the life of these products is nothing standard, and it keeps varying depending on the efforts, the trends, and the environment in which the market that we are trying to address is all based on. And added to this, it also depends on the competition, the technology, the type of developments that are taking place. The blue line that you see in this particular curve is the extension. Not necessarily all products got to decline and fade away from the market, but there is a possibility that we probably reinvigorate the product line that we have by various developments that are possible, by addition of new technology, new trends, new aesthetics, and so on and so forth, the various factors that we have considered as part of the product design. So all that would help probably in enhancing the life of the product. Having said this, let us also try to see what happens during this the various phases. In the introduction phase, as we are trying to see some of the main aspects of this, new products are launched on the market. Probably the sales are expected to be low when to begin with, and for the production or the established capacity of the organization, we are probably not able to make fully utilize the capacity of our abilities. And in that particular context, the cost per unit is probably higher at the initial stage. And we would have also certain problems to deal with in settling the technicalities, the commercial aspects of the organization of the product as well. And in this context, as I was mentioning to you, because of the high need for creating awareness, selection of distribution channels, and so on and so forth, the requirement of investments got to be high. And usually, the final outflow of cash would be negative. And distributors naturally would not be so positive about the product because the product is yet to be established and unproven. And heavy promotion need to be made to bring in consumer. So the relevant particular time, the aim being to encourage customer adoption, high promotional spending to create awareness and inform people. We either go for skimming pricing or penetrating pricing. And we have limited distribution channels. Selective distribution is probably is with respect to the early adapters only. Okay. In the next phase of this, that is the growth phase, expanding market is a possibility of competitors also viewing this particular possibilities. And the sales would naturally be the introduction phase, and utilization would also grow better, to be better. And in view of our own, the trial that some of us have made based on the reviews that we get, probably there is modification that is made, and it becomes much more acceptable. We make modifications to our adjust for all those things that are mostly sought for, and the problems, if any, that and the cash flows also become a little better than what it was, even better, because of the economies of scales improving, and the market grows, profit also increases, and because of this, people see opportunity in such sort of businesses, and therefore competition also increases. And in this context, the various strategies, the most usual strategies that people follow are, firstly, to further improve the image of the brand. We try to create an image for the brands that we are releasing, and we also would like to be much more, our channels got to be enlarged. Therefore, intensive distribution is another effort that we try to make. And the pricing part of it, probably it is the penetration pricing in order to take a lead over the competitors that people try at this particular stage. And we also try to concentrate on those early majority of buyers. We have seen the trend of how people would be from the innovators to the laggards. So we now try to capture on the early majority, which is almost 34% of the total market that exists. We said continuing high promotional spending, we still create such sort of awareness and further improve the product. Newer versions will come, new features are added, and several things take place. Okay, so these are some of the activities that organizations normally take up during the growth phase. And the maturity and other phases that we have, we would also try to have a look at those. One moment. Yeah, the maturity stage. The sales, probably because of the competition that we have, the rivals entering into the market would naturally mean more of competition. So we have to compete in the market, and we naturally have to forego a part of the share or try to improve our own share. For that, we need greater effort. And in this context, because of the intensive distribution that we have, we would like to further intensify, and our capacity utilization by this distribution would also be increasing. And higher profits are also seen in this as the market share grows. And cash flow, we should have resources in order to meet such sort of high utilization of resources or capacities, and in the inventories that we need to maintain here, either with the stockists, traders, retailers, and so on, and the distribution material in transport. So, and this is also a time in the maturity stage, those organizations, competitors who are not that strong, who do not have much resources to compete with others, would probably start leaving the market. So they would either get into another product areas or and usually the strategy in this particular maturity stage is organizations try to differentiate their own products by their features, by the quality, by the type of service that they provide, by the warranties and guarantees, or by pricing as well. So they would like to differentiate so that there is switching of customers from one brand to the other. And also, we wish to attract more and more people. So differentiation is prime ability at this stage. We wish to show how beneficial is the product and what is the value that we are trying to add. Rationalization of capacity, we wish to also see this. Competitor-based pricing. So we also try to see what is the ongoing price, and based on this, we fit into the market. And promotion focus on differentiation, that's what we said. We also try to enter into new segments. By the modifications that we make, we try to enter into areas where we have not addressed before. And in that context, the new segments are also attractive. And we try to also attract new users and reposition our products. In the sense, the usage of the product would be for many more areas that we have not thought about or not projected before. So we would like to, with little modification, probably we will bring in multi-purpose utilization of the product for different purposes. So develop new uses. That is what we mean. And in the declining stage, this is a stage where some of the competitors would have left the market. So this is falling sales and market saturation. Market has already saturated. It is in fact coming down, and there is decline in profits, and the cash flows are not that strong anymore, and more competitors leave the market. And this is the time amalgamations, takeovers from the maturity stage, they do happen. So depending on the monopoly or the strengths of the organization with respect to technology or their own ability to distribute and the resources that are available for the organization. Decline in capacity utilization. Therefore, switch capacity to alternative products. And the strategies are either you harvest by spending little on this product and weed out some of those products that we are not able to do well in the market. And price cutting is the first strategy that people would try to see, so that until they break even, they probably try to go on cutting prices and see how, because utilization of capacity, employment that has been generated, all these are likelihood repercussions if we wean out the product from the market, right? And promotion to retain loyal customers. So sometimes, in order to maintain the brand image, it's not one product that the organization deals with. It probably has several products. In that particular context, the in order to satisfy the loyal customers, sometimes we maintain some of our products and the components. Or, for example, Matis withdrew, Daewoo Motors withdrew from the market very early. It came out very strong in the first instance along with Hyundai in the automobile market, but Daewoo had to withdraw. But the product was successful.
Excuse me, sir.
It was very, yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, the slides are not visible.
Slides are not visible?
Nope, sir.
One moment. I thought I was sharing. Let me.
Until recently,
happened?
it was there, sir. Just 5 minutes.
Yeah? Say it
5
again.
minute- 5 minutes back, it went off due to some network issue, I think. Slides were visible in the chart, sir, in the beginning.
Okay.
Just 5 minutes back, it started some network issue.
Oh, really? Well, I'm not getting the control as well. Something happened. The controls are not show the menu bar. There was a drop down menu earlier. It's not showing now. Share. How is it now? Are you able to see? Hello?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no,
Yes, sir.
it's visible.
So you haven't seen this earlier slide?
Seen, sir. Maturity is over.
Maturity
Decline
stage?
when you started.
No,
decline.
could you see this last time? Okay. So decline stage is what we were going through. So, this is a stage where many competitors leave the market phase, and probably during the maturity phase, amalgamations, mergers all take place. And companies that have resources, companies that have good distribution channels, probably, they companies that have intellectual properties, patents, and development possibilities. What they do is they gain monopolistic rights here, and they control the entire market. They took over all the other products in the market, modernize. In that sense, organizations' usual strategy, other organizations, is they try to maintain the products as long as they are able to earn for themselves. So that means to say that's the break even they are able to earn, so that they don't bleed us from profits. And because the implications here is that the employment that we have created, suppose we close the door for all of them, and the image of the organization is also under question. The sort of community commitment is under question. and it is likely to reflect on the future aspects of the business as well. So a concern from the organization regarding the employment and other possibilities, repercussions that is likely to have. So most probably they try to make use of the existing capacity for making any other product that are possible if that is an opportunity for the organization. So they is one strategy to sustain such sort of declining market, and promotion to retain, to help the loyal customers. They have to maintain certain brands. I was talking about, I think, Daewoo Motors, which entered Indian market some time back along with Hyundai, and it was doing very well. But all of a sudden, it had a failure in Korea. So its operations were withdrawn from India, and but the products remained. And for some time, they tried to sustain providing components for all those vehicles that have been sold so far. But yeah, of course, there are imitative products that are available because that's an opportunity for those smaller entrepreneurs here. So the distribution network naturally gets narrowed. So these are some of the things that I have. And extension stage, as I was mentioning, to extend the life, to go beyond. We are trying to see whether the business can further be extended. In that sense, some of the strategies is we try to gain new customers, new audience, and even remind the older customers of the product existing. And price reduction is, of course, a more attractive sort of a thing to gain customers. Adding value, we add new features, modernize our product, and now come up with different strategies of creating benefits to the customers, and also try to sell it in new markets. Okay. Other techniques are, various factors of that product mix or marketing mix. We try to change so that it has some sustenance. And let us try to see what our basic objectives are. As the product passes through various stages, there are changes in the market and the conditions that prevail in the market. And for this, we have certain ideas. The strategic objective would be during the introduction stage is to build the product. Growth stage, go on building the marketing aspect. Maturity, we try to hold. And finally, in the decline stage, we harvest. Okay? And the strategic focus is expand the market, penetrate into the market during the growth phase. In the maturity phase, we protect our share or we innovate newer aspects. In the declining phase, we concentrate more on productivity. So cost effectiveness is what we try to see. Reduce overheads to the extent possible. That means to say we cut down on our advertisement, promotion, all such sort of things. Only people who require we minimize such sort of expenditure. So cost effectiveness is what we try to see in the declining phase. So brand objectives is during the introduction, awareness is the idea. Then during the growth phase, we want our customers to have preference for our brand. So during the maturity phase, we try to build brand loyalty, and we exploit that during the declining phase. As far as the development of product is concerned, during the introduction phase, naturally we come up with the features that we thought are unique or opportunities where exist. Then we try to differentiate with the customer, with the competitors, with the type of products or the particular usages that existed so far, and increase that differentiation much further during the maturity phase and rationalize it during the declining phase. Okay, and excuse me, there's somebody. I'll just come back. Give me 1 minute. Sorry for the interruption. And as far as promotion, as we were trying to say, during the introduction phase, our idea is to create awareness. During the growth phase, we want to build more awareness. And maturity phase, increase this. And finally, we try to withdraw from this, reduce our costs, as I was mentioning. And pricing, this is nothing hard and fast rule about pricing. There are several strategies. During the introduction phase, it is something like skimming, higher price. Strategy starts lowest, and again during the declining phase, it could be rising or declining. In fact, probably the lowest during the declining phase, or sometimes for those rare. Yeah.
Sir, why is the price high in introduction stage, sir?
No, this is one particular strategy. As I was mentioning, this is no hard and fast rule that it should be high. Whenever there is a new product that is being developed, the resources that you have put into the development stage, you wish to recoup at the earliest before competition comes in. Okay, this is a unique product that you are creating. If it is something which is being there already exists such sort of a product in the market, then probably you may not be benefited because you need to compete with the other products that exist in the market. In the initial phase, when the features are attractive to the customers, to those early innovators or early adapters, this is what you wish to exploit, right? So the initial investment is gained, then probably you go on reducing the prices. As the interest on the product gets reduced in the market, amongst the customers, because these features become common. As I have been talking to you about the Kano model, what was a delight yesterday becomes unexpected today and is of no delight tomorrow at all. In fact, it becomes a demanding factor. It becomes a part of essential feature of a product tomorrow. So in that particular sense, then distribution, as we do in the first instance of introduction, then we try to then intensive, and again in the declining phase we come to a selective sort of a stage. I have a different slide, like trying to show in the introduction stage how does the product branding and quality level is established, and intellectual property protection such as patents and trademarks are obtained. Pricing may be low, penetration pricing to build market share rapidly, or high, skim pricing to recover development costs. This is what I was discussing just now. And place, distribution is selective until consumers show acceptance of the product. So this is also a time where we take enough feedback so that we modify our product to make it much more acceptable in the product and to make it difficult for the competitors to compete with us. Promotion is aimed at innovators and early adapters. Marketing communications seeks to build product awareness and to educate potential consumers about the product. Okay, so we are trying to build such awareness. We are ensured that the innovators and early adapters would anyhow try this product at the early phase, and the early adapters are also the brand ambassadors who give us reviews, word of mouth spreads, and that increases our market. In the growth stage, product quality is maintained and additional features and support services may be added. Pricing is maintained, and as the firm enjoys increased increasing demand and competition begins to increase. Place. Distribution channels are added as demand increases and customers, sorry for the spelling, demand increases and customers accept the product. Promotion is aimed at a broader audience. Right? And in the maturity phase, product features are enhanced to differentiate the product from that of the competitors. Pricing may be low because of the new competition that is likely to come in at this phase. And place, because all others are also trying to reduce prices. Place distribution becomes more intensive and incentives may be offered to encourage preference over competing products. That is, we wish to see that customers switch over from our competitors to ours. Promotion emphasizes product differentiation. So we are trying to highlight the differences, the benefits, the value that we are trying to create. And in the declining phase, we maintain the product possibly by rejuvenating it or by adding new features and finding new uses. Harvest the product, reduce the costs, continue to offer it possibly to a loyal niche segment. Discontinue the product, liquidating remaining inventory. We got to get rid of our inventories and selling it to another firm that is willing to continue the product. The marketing mix decisions will vary depending on the decisions regarding the above issues. For example, price may be maintained if the product is harvested or reduced drastically if liquidated. Another example is that the product might be changed if it is being rejuvenated or unchanged if it is being harvested or liquidated. This is the way, some of the strategies, but the gamut of strategies exist. As you have seen under each of those P's that we were talking about, the factors that if you vary one, that itself is a type of product mix or marketing mix that we can offer. That's a strategy by itself. But a combination of such sort of mixes can give us an opportunity to adjust to the marketing environment, right? This criticism that we have is the shape and duration of the cycle is not standard. It keeps varying. And as I told you, this particular diagram is not to scale. And the length of each of the phase, the example that I have given, it started and it had a high growth phase for a very short while. And the maturity phase was too short and the declining phase started along with growth. Okay. And that's all in 2 years' time, the entire thing closed. So that's the sort of thing. So decline is not inevitable. We can try to extend the product as such, but efforts, strategies are essential. And awareness of consumers are not, you cannot generalize them. Their behavior is so very different. So that's what become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You probably fulfilling prophecy, right? You are what you think. Think you can, you will. If you think you can, that's it. That's the self-fulfilling prophecy. So,
Sir, one doubt.
even otherwise, yeah, please.
The pages thing.
Yeah.
Is it because of the low literacy rate that it wasn't success at that time? Maybe like people who can read and
Firstly, when the pages have been introduced, it's in the licensing policy of the government at that time, right? And what happened was I think, in my understanding, it was the technology trends and availability of technology. Immediately, the mobile phones came in. Till such time, we were waiting for a telephone. In fact, I paid for a PNT telephone. Postal and Telegraphs Department used to handle our official landlines here in the public sector alone. There was no private sector at that particular point of time. I think when I joined this college, I paid about 8,000 rupees as an advance to get my telephone on priority. Own your telephone was the scheme. Okay, and I think within 1.5 years, I got my chance. They established an exchange in our own institution, and we got a line. And there were about 100 telephone instruments given on the campus, and I was one of those first few who could get a telephone. And telephone was a luxury at that particular point of time. So, so the mobile technology came in, and the pagers died out. Okay, and the privatization of the telephone networks also played a havoc on the pagers. Naturally, there are more operators in the telecom business compared to what it was earlier. All this, but pagers led to such sort of privatization of this communication business also. So it is cannibalizing one technology. Okay, so the mobile technology has probably overshadowed the pages. Having said all this, is that okay, Satish? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the portfolio analysis. When we are trying to do all such sort of a marketing, every organization has an intention of trying to see how best they could manage their own resources. And in that context, we probably have to have a close view of how we have been performing, what needs to be done. So we would like to discuss one or two tools that we have with respect to the identification of such portfolio. Portfolio is a collection of various product lines that we offer. And for that matter, business portfolio also, it's not just the portfolio of products that I should be talking about, portfolio by itself. You people are aware of BHEL, right? It has several locations of operations. And each of these locations are probably operating. They come up with different product lines. Chin is probably considered as one of the strategic business unit of the corporation BHEL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. Okay, so sort of a planning that is required just to evaluate the company's performance and where to invest, because we have scarce resources, either manpower or even financial resources to invest. So in this particular aspect, we have to finally come up with assessing. By assessing such sort of business portfolio, product portfolio, or business portfolio, or strategic business units, we have to make use of certain parameters. And as long as we are talking about marketing, I think the market growth rate is what we finally look at. That gives us some confidence. Not only confidence, that shows the market share that we hold in the market, shows us the strength of the company. So we wish to see the possibilities of growth as well as the strength of the organization in a particular area where we can invest. In this context, we come across a particular tool called BCG Growth Share Matrix. BCG stands for Boston Consulting Group. A person by name Bruce Henderson has come up with a tool of BCG Growth Matrix. Sorry, one moment. Before I go to this, let me go back to, yeah. Yeah. Do you think an organization survives on such sort of operations? The curve that we have shown here. Hello?
Yes, sir.
But what happens in the real operations? To explain about that portfolio, I wish to highlight certain points here. This is about a product, right? The trend that is shown is about a particular product. But a company cannot wait for this long of a period only investing where it doesn't make much profit. It is always in the negative. Okay. And it cannot sustain a declining period where it is not able to progress further. In such sort of context, what is required here by the company is that the range of products which are probably like this, which are further getting developed. So you have such sort of topping everywhere. You understand what I'm trying to draw?
Like increase more revenue
sir.
stream?
There is a consistency of profit and revenues for the organization, right? If there is only one product that I am dealing with, that means to say only during the maturity phase, I am doing well, right? Or either in the growth phase. But what happens during this phase of introduction and this phase of decline? So I need to manage my organization with other activities as well, which gives me revenue, not just costs. So I have a collection of products or activities which are like this. And one of them is what we are discussing, is a product life cycle of one item, right?
Sir, one of our products reaches maturity, we can start introducing other things, right?
Yeah,
That's the plan.
there is a phasing. You would have seen. I'll tell you an example of Nirma. That was a time when only Surf was the detergent powder available, and it is for the affluent circle. It was considered to be very expensive. And we used to have detergent cakes like 501, Bison, and so on, other Sunlight brands of detergent cakes, the soaps that we have today. We talk about Rin and others, right? So Surf was considered to be a very, people wanted to make use of this. But being expensive, it had a monopolistic market. And Nirma was started as a very small scale unit by Patel. And he came up with this unit, making this detergent powder in his backyard. And he started selling this at 3 rupees a kilo. That gave a possibility for the customers to make a try and satisfy their own want of making use of this detergent powder aspect. So after having sustained, got acceptance for the product, it took some time to get acceptance. Firstly, they thought the clothing was getting spoiled by usage of this Nirma. It was so strong. Some of the chemicals were affecting the clothing. So there was modification that took place. Then it gained acceptance. And finally, it started competing with Surf. And it was a price war. Okay. And suddenly, the strong Surf, which had a very high market share, had to come down. And Nirma was dominating even Surf. Today, Nirma has come out with different products. It offers toiletries and so on and so forth. So started with one product, having established, they have come up with other diversified activities as well. You see that a group or a company starts with one product of or one activity and diversifies into various other activities. Can you name any?
Reliance.
Yeah. Very true.
ITCs.
Reliance is a very good example.
Amazon.
Yes.
Google
Yes.
also.
No,
They
Amazon.
started a bath soap as well.
Yeah. Say it again.
So Nirma started a bath soap as well.
Yeah. And the simplest thing that we have been seeing is also the Logitech. It was only in making mouse earlier for the computers. It has now a collection of products, right? So similarly, they make only accessories, not the main product, but only accessories. So there are certain things, niche markets, so on and so forth, they come up. So this is what the collection of all these product lines that I have shown here is called the product portfolio. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So similarly, business portfolio. There are several businesses that we operate. I am into petroleum. I am into a chain of stores, just like Reliance that doing. So all this is the strategic business units that they are operating. So when we are trying to evaluate to make use of our own limited resources in each of these businesses, where to invest is a question for me because I have limited resources. What I make use of is one simple tool that we have is the BCG growth matrix. Probably you would have gone through this slide. Yeah, this portfolio distinguishes 4 different fields. It is about, it talks about the relative market share and market growth rate. And it classifies each of those sectors into dogs, cash cows, question marks, and stars. I'll show you the picture and then come back to this. This is how it is. Okay. On the vertical axis, you have the growth rate. And on the x-axis, share indicates if I have a higher market share, it indicates that I have higher cash generation possibility. If I have a higher growth rate, it indicates that I have higher cash usage. So the investment that is required for a higher growth rate is also higher. And so these are certain, and it also means that whenever there is a low market share, relative market share, it is risky. Whenever it is high growth rate, again it is risky because of the higher investment. But what does higher growth rate indicate? Higher growth rate indicates the industrial attribute, the industry's attributes of growth and progress. And the market share or the relative market share shows us the strength of the business. How strong are we in this particular area? But the difficulty here is to gather all such sort of information. It is time consuming and also little expensive. Not only difficult, but expensive to come up with such sort of details to define these sort of measures of growth rate and relative market share. Okay. But by assessing such strategic business units on this growth rate and relative market share, we would be able to make some decisions about whether to commit our resources that we have, the scarce resources that we have, like the financial resources, or to sell the business or liquidate the business. So these are some of the useful things. Basically, it deals with the process of evaluating the business or the industry growth and the relative position that the organization has or the company has in this particular sector of industry. Having said this, now let me take you back to the slide. Portfolio of products. Yeah.
Sir, can you
Please.
give any example of a question mark product of any company?
We'll come back to this. First, let me make you understand what a question mark is. Okay? Then we'll try to get back to this. Portfolio of products can be analyzed by this matrix and the market share and market growth. Does the product being sold have a low or high market share is what we are trying to see. And the market growth, what is the potential, okay, within the market. Certain assumptions by which we are making use of this tool is that the cash surpluses will be generated when the product is in the maturity stage of the life cycle, and market share gains will always generate cash surplus. Okay, market share can be gained by investing in marketing. These are some of the assumptions with which we are going. So all future discussion depends on these assumptions. Now to the question that you asked. What are these question marks? What do you understand by this? These are products which have been recently developed or which are still in development. Okay. And these are products that are most likely to enjoy rapid growth rate, but the market share of our organization is probably less. Therefore, the possibility of profit margins is poor. That particular context, it becomes a question mark for us. It has a possibility of high growth rate, but it has a low market share. So is it not risky?
It's like we have to invest something very high and we don't even know that we can sustain in the market.
That's right. So, and it's not one question mark here. There are question marks. You are in search of opportunities. If you have several such sort of developments taking place by your teams, right? In each of those strategic business units, they are coming up with several ideas. But if you are an entrepreneur yourself, you probably have one product idea or investment limited to that in the initial phase. So we try to see what is the market share that we gain at this first. Based on this, again, we have to, going back to the product life cycle, when we said in the introduction period, we are trying to concentrate with limited distribution channels. That means to say, we are limiting ourselves to a limited area of marketing as such, right? Is that the understanding? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Is that the understanding that we have? So in that particular context,
Yes, sir.
what is it that we have to do is the question. So we can still make it in that limited market, at least do we have higher market share? Is the question. So if we are able to do this with our limited, we are trying to see a niche market there. We are not seeing the whole market, right? We are not looking at the entire international market. We are only looking at a market in Kajipet area, not even Warangal district. So once I grow from this Kajipet to Warangal district, then probably I look for other aspects of development. What is more important? What channel of distribution? What channel of promotion? What channel of advertisement, awareness building? And all this aspects I try to bring in. So I try to assess this particular product in this. So that's a question mark. When question marks, when we say that they have a high demand for cash. The problem here, the risk here is because they have a possibility of high growth rate, they have a demand for investment, higher investment. And the risk is that if they do not succeed, if they are not able to gain a good market share, they get into the dogs. Okay? They become dogs. Which means that there is no growth rate, they are falling further with respect to the market as well as the growth rate as well. In that context, it is not interesting for us. But those question marks which have been able to sustain from Kajipet to Hanamkonda to Warangal to Telangana to India, sort of a development, then probably they become stars. Okay, they are increasing their growth rate. They are also increasing their market share. And such sort of products is worthwhile. So you have to choose amongst the question marks that you have, identify those which would be able to stay a position of a star. Right? So that's the differentiation. And the stars are products which have a very high market growth rate, also high market share. And these are market leaders. These are supposed to be market leaders with generating substantial profits as well. Not only taking investment, they of course require large investment in order to maintain that rapid growth rate that we are talking about. And in order to do this, we have to invest on new product developments, improvements, and better market coverage also. And perhaps at times, in order to compete, we may also come up with some price reduction. Therefore, these are all the challenges to maintain our market share and retain the growth rate. Go ahead with the growth rate. If any of this growth rate slows down, then the stars become cash cows. Okay? What are cash cows? In the normal usage of the term cash cow is what? They are
Low
established.
investment, high returns.
Yeah, low investment, higher returns. They are established. We are quite confident about our performance here. So these are cash cows, right? In fact, they help us meet all our expenses of the organization. In fact, the expenses that we have to bear for the question mark are also funded by the cash cows in the development process, right? So cash cows are products that enjoy very high market share and low growth rate, falling growth rate, okay? Low levels of market growth. So, and we do not even expect much growth in that particular sense. Generally, they are very profitable products and generate more cash than what is needed to maintain this particular product or the strategic business unit, the market share. And here we have to manage, our effort should be to manage cash cows by investing in improvements to maintain its superiority. That's all. That is what is required. And attempting to maintain such sort of price leadership and using the excess cash to support developments of new products and growth of other products helps the organization, right? So it goes into helping stars as well as more of question marks. When we have said all this, question of what these dogs are. What are these dogs? Dogs are cash traps. They become, they use up all the money that is tied up.
Leftover.
Not leftover exactly. Dogs are only those which are able to sustain for itself but do not contribute to the growth of the organization. Okay? They may not give us more profits but are able to sustain themselves. That means to say the utilization of the equipment industry that we have created is sustaining on its own. So it's a no profit, no loss, or a little profit but no loss sort of a situation that is coming. So as long as it is breaking even, we are happy. But once it demands more investment than the revenues that it generates, then you wean it off, you liquidate, you sell the business. You are no more interested because it will bleed you from your own profits. In that sense, they have high demand for cash in that particular operations. And we have to, strategically operate such sort of things in order to satisfy our loyal customers and, focus on particular segments of market. And we have to try to outperform our competitors as well in that context. We have fewer opportunities here for growth, and they naturally, and as I was telling you, after some time, cash cows become dogs. Okay. So do you see some resemblance of what we have discussed earlier here? Today? Yesterday? Hello?
Decline stage.
Yeah. You
After
see,
maturity, they will start declining, so they will become dogs.
wonderful. If you consider question marks as introduction, stars as growth, cash cows as maturity, and dogs as decline. Okay? You see the product life cycle here. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
relate our product life cycle with market growth rate as well as the market share that we have. So this is how the business. So once we understand how the products are, we try to make use of our scarce resources by investing in that. So this is one of the tools that we make use. Stars are high growth products competing in market where they are strong compared with competition. Often stars need heavy investment to sustain growth. Eventually, growth will slow down and assuming they keep their market share, stars become cash cows. And cash cows are low growth products with high market share. These are mature, successful products with relatively little need for investment. They need to be managed for continued profit so that they continue to generate the strong cash flows that the company needs for its stars. Question marks. They are products with low market share operating in high growth markets. They suggest that they have potential, but may need substantial investment to grow market share at the expense of larger competitors. Management has to think, question marks. Which one should they invest in? Which one should they allow to fail or shrink? Unsurprisingly, the term dogs refers to products that have a low market share in unattractive, low growth markets. Dogs may generate enough cash to break even, but they are rarely, if ever, worth investing in. Dogs are usually sold or closed. Ideally, business would prefer products in all categories apart from dogs to give it a balanced portfolio of products. That's the summary. Okay? I'll share the slides. And I have one more tool to share actually. Today it's time, I suppose. You probably have. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hope things are clear. The assumptions are high market share generates cash revenues and high market growth rate uses more cash resources. Okay. Well, then we will meet in the next class. I was
Thank you,
requesting, I was requesting Sarthak to give me an extra hour, probably next Wednesday. I'm promised an hour at 1:30 with all your acceptance to make up some of the time. I have 2 more units to cover, and those are numerical. Those are more scoring, and all of you would those. That is scoring for the examination point of view, and it's also interesting, basically. And one is about the inventories, the other one is about the project management. So far, so good. If you have no questions, we'll meet in the next class.
Sir, Thursday or coming Wednesday, sir?
Yeah, say it again.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is it... Okay. Sorry.
Tomorrow, can we meet?
Today is Monday, sorry.
Okay. No, if it's possible, tomorrow we can meet, probably, sometime.